Welcome, Gemini, to your October 2023 ethics reading with me, Daniel Natal, where you'll get your Natal chart. This month is going to be kind of an interesting month for you, and it's a time for kind of self-realization. It's one of the themes that's going to, kind of hit you is, you're going to start considering, where you are, but also where you want to be. How do you get to where you want to go, and kind of, get to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Self-actualization is at the top of the pyramid. Hey, pyramid, right? Like my symbol there, the actionable ethics symbol. So that's one of the things that you're going to be concentrating on this month. The universe may have other kind of messages for you, and we're going to do my little ethics card readings. And these contain the greatest quotes of the most illustrious thinkers, ethicists, and philosophers of all time. And I will pull 3 cards out at random. And the first card says, Ideals are no replacement for ethics. And that's by Eric Vogelin. Ideals are no replacement for ethics, right? And what he's saying there is an ideal is something that should be, right? And that's good. It's an end, right? Ethics is not just ends. Ethics is means toward the end, right? So you have both, right? So when you plug in a GPS, right, you have an end, right, an end goal, but 75% of the GPS is to get you to that end goal. It's the map to get you there, right? Utilitarianism, which is kind of the opposite of ethics. Utilitarians basically just believe in the mean or the end, right? The end justifies the means, right? So if the end for a utilitarian is getting $1,000,000, he doesn't care about the means. He doesn't care if he has to lie, cheat, or steal to get it. An ethical person cares about the means, right? So you don't ignore the end, right? You have to have the end in a ethical system, but you have to have the means there to get there, right? So if you have like just the end without the means, you could engage in kind of bad behavior, and that's what Vogelin is saying. It's not enough to have that end, that ideal, right, the $1,000,000, but you have to have an ethical system. It is not a replacement for an ethical system to just have the end without the means. Let's see what the second message for you is. A man without ethics is a wild beast loosed upon the world. Albert Camus. I'll repeat that. A man without ethics is a wild beast loosed upon the world. And that kind of gets to what Vogelin was just saying, right? If you just have the end without the means, you will lie, cheat, and steal to do it, you will be a wild beast. You will be a horrible person. Kind of like Teddy Roosevelt has that great quote where he says that to educate a man in mind but not in morals is to like unleash like a monster on society, And that's kind of the same, thing. You have to have boundaries. You have to have kind of ethical principles that will act as guardrails so that you're not going to do unethical things to achieve your goals. Have goals and have real goals and do kind of actionable things to get there. Hey, actionable ethics. But don't, cross those lines and, kind of do bad things to achieve those goals is the message, one of the themes this month. Another theme for you is morality is doing what is right, regardless of what you are told. Obedience is doing what is told, regardless of what is right. H.L. Mencken. I'll repeat that. Morality is doing what is right regardless of what you were told. Obedience is doing what is told regardless of what is right. And this is a theme this month, right? I mean, you're looking at kind of governments behaving in totalitarian ways, and I will just leave it there. I won't go into that, and you can kind of infer what I'm talking about. Do the right thing. Don't just be obedient, right? Kind of tyrannical figures, authoritarians, they just want you to be obedient, right? And so people confuse that for being ethical people. Oh, I was obedient. And it was like, yeah, that's not ethical. Ethical is like actually doing the right thing, right? That you can discern. Like so for instance, if there's a lynch mob and everybody is going to, commit an act of violence against like an individual, do you just go along with the crowd? Are you obedient? Do you conform? And a lot of people confuse conformity with being moral. Oh, I did what everybody else was doing. That's not morality. Or the greater good. I did it for the greater good. The greater good is not ethics, right? That's utilitarianism. And so people will use that. They'll manipulate you, making those kind of arguments. You have to have the courage, you have to have the conviction to basically stand alone sometimes, like Socrates or Jesus, like all those great moral lessons. Unfortunately, it doesn't always end well. Martin Luther King or Gandhi or whatever. But that is the essence of ethics, the ability to have the backbone to stand up when everyone else is bowing and to say, no, I'm not going to do what you tell me. I'm going to do the right thing, regardless of the consequences. Because as I said, ethics is not just the end, it's the means, right? So the consequence is the end. You have to do the means. You have to say, I don't care. I'm not just going to conform. And so keep that. That's going to be one of the themes in play this month. And I will see you next time. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you want some extra personal ethics coaching with me, if you have an issue, you can set up a Zoom call with me by pressing the button below in the description. Pick what calendar date and time you want, and we can hash over whatever thorny moral dilemma you're facing. Also, check out my Ethics Fundamentals course. The links are below, and I'll catch you next time. Get my book, Actionable Ethics, to understand the basic concepts of ethics, as well as to learn how and why moral structures permitted us to create an advanced civilization. Without those moral structures, society falls apart. You can order the ebook by going to my website, actionableethics.com, or a physical copy by going to online retailers like Amazon.com. Learn how to embed ethics into your business processes during onboarding for new employees, and discover how to generate an ethical cultural field at your business or even among your children at home. Order it now. Actionable Ethics.